battle buddy for the month of March, and I'm like, nah, we're stuck. So you're just an incredible inspiration to me and all the women here. I just cannot echo enough. Please sign up. We need your story. And more importantly, thank you, Phyllis, for everything that you do for the Military Women's Memorial and that you're doing to support and honor our women veterans. We're so thankful for you. I do want to highlight General Vaught, because I just simply need to take an opportunity to honor truly one of our living legends. General Vaught came down and commissioned us in 1994 at Fort Benning, Georgia. I'm an officer candidate, was how I received my commission. And she could have easily just done a photo op and gone. And if you have ever met General Vaught, first of all, she is force in an Air Force uniform, just force, just energy. And what she did for us was to have breakfast. And that breakfast was us in civilian clothes, her in civilian clothes, and she talked about the challenges we would face. And she talked about how it was important to tell the story of women veterans. And she talked about our responsibility as lieutenants to ensure that we held the door open for our women coming behind us and for our soldiers, but making sure that our women military service members had the opportunities and were given those opportunities. And she tasked us in that breakfast. And then her last words before we did the ceremony was, okay, I'm gonna go switch and become the general, but I need you to remember. And I just have felt blessed to have had that opportunity. And every time I go to Women's Memorial, I always talk about General Vaught. It's just, she changed my life in such a way from the start. And we all have that opportunity to change someone's life. And so it just takes a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner or even just a quick conversation. And so I've just been blessed through the years of men and female veterans, but it was the female veterans who always said, you can keep going, don't worry about that, you can be a mom, because I submitted my resignation 3 times, Charlotte, Catherine, and Christine. With Christine, I was done. And I went to AUSA, my paperwork was filed, and General Pickney, who was the reason why I was at the Women's Memorial for the Army Women's Foundation, when I saw her at AUSA, she said, how are you doing? And I said, good. I've resigned my commission. And she said, oh, you need to be at my office at 5 p.m. Of course, she's a 1-star and I'm a captain, so I do what she says. I get to her office and her secretary says, you're not supposed to be here. I said, well, the general told me to be here, so I'm here. And she said, you can go sit in the lobby. So I sat in the lobby. General Pickney comes in and she says, oh, good, let's go. And the secretary's like, oh, okay, I guess you were supposed to be here. So I get in my car, she's in her car, and we drive to the Mark Center, which is a hotel in Virginia, and another woman gets in the car. So we drive and we keep driving and we go to this beautiful neighborhood. And we pull up, she gets out, this other woman, and she introduces me to her, and I'm sorry I can't remember her name because this is not in my notes and not part of my speech, but General Pickney says, this is General, and I cannot remember her name. It was the 2 black female generals in the whole United States Army. I'm a captain. We go in, and General Pickney starts making dinner, and she looks over to the other general, and she says, do you believe she thinks she's going to resign? True story. And she said, what's the problem? And I said, I don't know how to be a mom and be a soldier. And she said, I'm a mom. You're going to figure it out. I went back to Korea. I pulled back my paperwork, and I was able to retire. But it was because somebody took the time. And, right, it's just, so that's so important, and that's what I ask each of you today. And now I'm going to actually get to my speech. I would not be here today without the countless women veterans who mentored me and who lifted me up, and who fought by my side and continue to do so to this very day. As you know, March is Women History Month. It is a time for reflecting on where we've come from and how we've gotten to where we are today. Far too long, too many women who served abroad to protect our rights and freedoms have had to fight against injustice for their own rights and freedoms back here at home. And we know that for far too long, we've come up short in providing women veterans with basic respect, dignity, and fairness that we owe them. It's women who have led the fight over decades and decades demanding equal rights. No one embodies that fight more than Mary Virginia Erdman from Hot Springs. She served 16 and a half years in the Army Reserve Nurse Corps, including posts that took her to Germany, to Panama, and finally to El Salvador, where she came under hostile fire. After retiring from the Army as a lieutenant colonel, Ms. Erdman served veterans at the VA medical centers, including those in Big Spring and Little Rock, as well as at the Good Samaritan Society in Hot Springs Village. Ms. Erdman then became only the second woman to serve as the commander of the Arkansas State American Legion Department since its formation in 1919. She also became the first woman selected as a member of the American Legion National Executive Committee. In 2017, she was the first woman elected to the Arkansas Military Veterans Hall of Fame. Ms. Erdman is an inspiration to military women and veterans throughout Arkansas, and her story should inspire women veterans wherever they may be, and I would love for her to stand up and be recognized. I may have asked her 3 times last night, "You're going to be here tomorrow, right?" I didn't tell her why. Thank you. The fight so many women has led to better treatment of and opportunities for women in the military and beyond. It's their fight that has led VA to provide equal treatment, equal care, and provide safe spaces for women veterans so that they receive the care and benefits they earned and deserve. That fight is far from over, but we have come far. Today, because of the brave women who came before us, more women veterans who are choosing VA than ever before. Women are the fastest growing group of veterans. The number of women veterans using VA services has more than tripled since 2001, and that number continues to rise. VA is dedicated to providing high-quality, comprehensive care to all women veterans. That includes basic preventive care, acute care, chronic disease management, mental health care, and more. We provide gender-specific services that are absolutely world-class and tailored to women veterans' needs. VA has expanded services to include gynecological care, breast and cervical cancer screenings, contraceptive counseling, menopause management, and more. Half the women we serve are of childbearing age, and that's why reproductive health services at VA is so critical. Last year, VA expanded breast cancer screenings and mammograms for veterans with potential toxic exposures. As we significantly expand one-on-one maternity care coordination for women veterans from just 8 weeks to 1 year postpartum. VA reproductive health services includes all of this, as well as fertility services such as IVF, contraceptives, emergency contraceptives, menopause care, including hormone replacement therapy. We do all this because we know that access to the entire complement of medically necessary reproductive care is a vital part of veteran care. We are also providing a wide range of mental health services enhanced to address women veterans' unique needs. We know that women experience PTSD, depression, and military sexual trauma, MST, at higher rates. I know it's a hard thing to talk about, and it's affected far too many veterans, including women in this room. But I want to address the tragedy of MST for a few moments with you. Recognizing that many survivors of sexual trauma do not disclose their experiences unless asked directly. It's a VA policy to screen all former members seen for health care for MST. In 2022, more than 1 in 3 women veterans reported a history of MST when a VA provider screened them. This is tragic and absolutely unacceptable. Every VA healthcare system provides MST-related outpatient care. There are no length of service, service connection, or income requirements for MST care. We provide all care for mental and physical health conditions related to MST free of charge. We are dedicated to ensuring that veterans who experience MST, women and men, have all the services they need to recover. This brings me to another national tragedy, suicide. We know that over the last 20 years, the suicide rate for women veterans has been increasing. In response, we've created a Women Veteran Suicide Prevention Task Force to tackle the issue head-on. The task force is doing everything from using trauma-informed care education strategies to enhancing firearm screenings to providing gun locks at women's health clinics. We're also expanding emergency care. The doors to the emergency room of any healthcare facility open to veterans in suicidal crisis, whether they are enrolled in VA healthcare or not, and it is free of charge. So I'm just going to repeat. Any veteran that is in suicidal crisis can go to any ER, and the VA will pick up the bill. We know that suicide is preventable. We're doing everything we can to get veterans in crisis the help that they need. Each and every day, we're focused on providing the best care for women veterans. You and more than 19,000 other women veterans in Arkansas deserve nothing but the best care and benefits possible. We can't provide that effectively unless we ensure that care is delivered in an affirming and inclusive environment. That's why last year, Secretary McDonough took the bold step of changing our mission statement so that all who have donned the uniform can see themselves, see their service, and see their sacrifices reflected in these words: to fulfill President Lincoln's promise to care for those who have served in our nation's military and for their families, caregivers, and survivors. These words emphasize honoring VA's promise to all veterans. These words are about making sure all veterans, especially women veterans, feel seen, feel heard, and feel comfortable when they walk through our doors. These words are about ensuring that women veterans see themselves reflected in the spaces where they seek care to build trust and create a feeling of community. Because if women veterans don't see themselves reflected in the spaces where they seek care and trust, we can't truly provide women veterans with the care they need and deserve. Our dedication to women veterans and to all veterans has never been stronger. Some of you might have heard about the PACT Act, which President Biden signed into law in 2022. The PACT Act expands VA health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits, Agent Orange, and other toxic substances. Earlier this year, we began making millions of veterans eligible for the VA health care years earlier for the PACT Act. Specifically, all veterans who were exposed to toxins and other hazards while serving our country at home or abroad are now eligible to enroll directly in VA healthcare without first applying for VA benefits. So if you have a claim and you're like, I need to wait till my percentage increases or I need for it to go through, if you fall under the PACT Act, you can register for VA healthcare now. It is a huge game changer, huge. So I encourage you, please enroll. That includes all veterans who served in Vietnam, the Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, and any other combat zone after 9/11. It includes all veterans who deployed in support of the global war on terror. And it includes veterans who never deployed but were exposed to toxins or hazards while training on active duty here at home by working with chemicals, pesticides, lead, asbestos, certain paints, nuclear weapons, X-rays, and more. We're doing this because VA is proven to be the best, most affordable health care in America for veterans. We want as many veterans as possible to come to us for care. So don't wait. Apply for the care that you deserve at va.gov/PACT, or for this group, Papa Alpha Charlie Tango. Even if you don't need this care today, you might need it tomorrow or the next day or 30 years from now. We truly don't know what we were exposed to, y'all, so please sign up. It's quick, it's easy, and once you're in, you have access for life. So if you're not already getting your care from VA, please consider us. We want to serve you. We can serve you. If you're currently getting your health care at VA, thank you. Thank you for putting your trust in us. There's no place better in providing women veteran-centered care. We're going to continue to do better for women veterans. We're going to continue to be better for women veterans. This work takes all of us. It's you who can reach women veterans. Reach out to every women veteran you know. Reach out to your sisters, your daughters, your friends, your neighbors. Encourage every woman veteran you know to sign up for VA healthcare. We need every single person in this room to communicate with women veterans so they have access to the care that they need and the benefits they so richly deserve. Let me close by sharing an encounter I had while I was at Target on Veterans Day. For those last night, I apologize. I may have said this one. So I was at Target on Veterans Day, and we had this cashier who decided to open up a special line for veterans. So I moved over, and I said, "Thank you so much. Really appreciate you honoring us veterans on Veterans Day." And she said, "Yeah, I used to be a veteran." We don't kick you out of the club, right? Once you're a veteran, you're always a veteran. And so, of course, I had to explain this to her. Unfortunately, the line might have built up in Target, but it was okay. And I encouraged her then and there to please sign up. And she said, "Well, I only served one tour. I only went to Afghanistan once." We still have so many women who minimize their time, who think that it wasn't important. We have spouses who will get in my face and fight doggedly for their husband's benefits. And then when I ask them, "Well, did you serve?" "Well, yeah, but I just did 4 years." It all counts. We have to ensure that all of our women veterans sign up. Sorry, I'm back now. Each of you makes me proud to be your sisters in arms. Estella Morris makes me proud. While working as a social worker at VA, she realized that possessing a military background would help her connect even further with the veterans she was helping. So at the age of 34, she enlisted in the Navy Reserve, eventually being promoted to lieutenant. She later joined the Arkansas Army National Guard. While continuing to work at VA, as she does today, Dr. Morris has been serving veterans at VA for more than 40 years. Jamie Muscarelli also makes me proud. After a chance encounter with a recruiter, she joined the Air Force and served as a C-130 loadmaster during 4 tours in Iraq. After retiring as a staff sergeant, she obtained a license in social work to help veterans experiencing mental health issues, including in North Little Rock. Jamie found her calling using psychotherapy to help veterans feel unstuck. Tricia Leslie makes me proud. Tricia served in the Army from 2010 to 2013. In 2018, she was elected commander of VFW Post 4556 in Pocahontas. Her election represented a number of firsts in post history for commanders. Tricia was the first commander to be an Afghanistan war veteran, its first commander to be a combat woman veteran, and its first commander to be a millennial. And every woman veteran in Arkansas, like each one of you, makes me proud. I am proud to call you a fellow veteran, and you should be proud. Thank you for the chance to join you this afternoon. You have my word that I will continue to fight tirelessly to ensure that women veterans and all veterans have access to the benefits, care, and services they have earned. And so I wrap up and say, God bless you all, and God bless our nation's service members, our veterans, their families, caregivers, and survivors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deputy Secretary Bradshaw, for your words, for your service, for gracing us with your presence in the great state of Arkansas. We have some things for you, first of which is the Arkansas Traveler. And so Alicia is going to present that to you while I read the history of this certificate. It expresses the state's special recognition of out-of-state visitors who have contributed to the progress, enjoyment, or well-being of the state of Arkansas or her people. When one receives this beautiful certificate, they become an ambassador of our great state. Each certificate has the seal, the official seal of the state of Arkansas in gold, the signature of the Secretary of State, and the signature of the governor. It also comes with a story about the original Arkansas Traveler. So we wanted to make sure that you got one of these from the state of Arkansas. Thank you. We also have an award, or not an award, a gift from.
So this is from the military.
Yes.
Service Reserve. So just recognizing you as a fellow sister. I love it.
So thank you so much for that. Thank you again, Secretary Bradshaw. Again, such an honor and a privilege. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a break.